The Muslim Students Association of UPM is organizing a dialogue between me and my teacher, Professor Usman Bakar. So science students might not know him. Prof. Usman is one of the most influential Islamic philosophers in the world today. He's the holder of the Al-Ghazali Chair of Islamic Thought at IIUM. That position is given to the most influential scholars, the Imam Al-Ghazalis of Malaysia. He's on the list of 500 most influential Muslims in the world. Western scholars study his works. One of them, Dr. Nielsen from University of Sussex, she even dedicated her research analysis to Prof. Osman's philosophy. So we are very lucky to have him for the event. The way we're going to do this is, firstly, I'll give a talk about my understanding of the Islamic philosophy of science. That's useful for you because I'm a beginner researcher in this field. I don't have an Islamic studies degree and I come from natural sciences, from immunology and microbiology. And then after my presentation, then Prof. Osman will give his talk. He'll probably correct the mistakes that I have in my conceptualizations. And that's useful for us so that we can learn from my mistakes as a science student. And then Prof. Osman and I are going to have a back and forth conversation. I'm going to ask him some questions that science students might ask an Islamic philosopher. If you are an Usuluddin student, if you are doing a degree in theology, you might not learn anything new. We plan to keep things introductory for science students. But I suppose you can learn how Prof. Osman corrects my misunderstandings and answer questions from science students. And you can observe that to learn how to communicate about Kalam or Islamic philosophy to natural science students. So my friends from IIUM and Kalam Research Group, you might want to join us for that purpose. For science students though, you don't want to miss this, especially if you have never heard of the Islamic philosophy of science before. It might change the way you view the science courses you study at uni. And all the international students who have taken FSA 3000, the Philosophy of Science course with me, you guys are welcome as well. Because you said you love me teaching that course, well, why don't you meet my teacher? You'll probably love him more. So PMIUPM, the student society, they are organizing this primarily to serve Muslim science students. But even if you're not a Muslim, even if you're not a science student, I think you'll still benefit from Prof. Osman because he's a civilizational thinker and you can compare his worldview with your spiritual tradition. That's it. See you there. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.